Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone to this masterclass about some secrets for peaceful parenting, especially now in Ramadan, where there's a lot more going on and we're hungry and tired and still have to take care of the kids, alhamdulillah, which is also a blessing. And we can definitely gain a lot of reward and goodness from just looking after our kids in a calm and cool and collected way, inshallah. So let's see what we can do. Welcome to everyone who's here live, and also welcome to everyone who's going to be watching the recording. I'm gonna dive straight in. So yeah, that's one of the biggest questions I get in terms of how to stay calm and cool-headed. And there is really no quick fix. And my main aim of my coaching programs is to get you to that calm and cool-headed place. But I'm going to do my best to just share some tips that can be implemented pretty much immediately and that may be overlooked when we think about being a calm parent and it all feels too much and we just can't get there. So let's have a look. And the first thing is about actually making that intention, which is, you know, what most parents, when they come to me and I ask them, like, what do you want your parenting to look like? You know, in a year from now, you know, like 90% of them say, the first thing they say, I want to be a calm parent. I want to not raise my voice. I want to just stay cool-headed, regardless of whatever habit is, behavior is going on. And the first step would be then to make that intention. So if you want to be a calm, cool-headed parent, then we want to make the intention and take whatever action we need to take to head into that direction. What else I've noticed is that what takes us out of being responding in a cool-headed place is fears that we have to correct all the behavior of our kids right now, that if we don't, you know, sort them out now, then they'll have these bad behaviors for the rest of their life. I remember, like, when my youngest one was 2, 3, and you know, he would eat really messy, and I don't know, like, he's like, oh my gosh, you know, if I don't correct, I had this fear that if I don't correct it now, he's gonna be like that for the rest of his life. But if once I realized that that's not really true, I was able to drop that rule in my head but was able to stay calm and cool-headed, even regardless of however he was eating, or you know, because I realized that future-based fear was not realistic, was not going to serve me at all. And it's really about setting up rules that serve us now, not in the future, because we don't know what's going to come in the future, but we know what's happening right now. So it's about staying in the now and setting up rules and strategies and respond in the way we want to respond now, not in some future place. Because yeah, it's all about managing behavior in the moment. And when we stay in the moment, when we are not somewhere stuck in some future fear or in some past regret, we can actually deal with the kids' behavior in a calm and cool-headed way. Because when we're in the moment, we realize that everything is temporary, even however bad the child is behaving in the moment, whatever you have to deal with, it's all only temporary. And when the more we focus on the temporary aspect of it, the more cool and calm and cool-headed we can stay. So let's say we take a example of, you know, a child is throwing a tantrum in the middle of the shop. The behavior is just a communication of an inexperienced child, because they don't know what else to do in that moment, because they're unaware. They don't know, like they maybe they have learned that behavior now, or they just don't know how else to react. So it's like the child, the main difference between us parents and the kids is the experience of life. They don't have the experience, they don't have the awareness, and that's why they act in these random ways. Whatever comes to their mind, they will just act it out. So if we look at behavior in terms of, it's just a communication, an inexperienced communication. Let's say they haven't learned the experience of, okay, I've, this is not the way to communicate. This is not the way to let my parents know I'm not well, or I want something, or I don't agree with whatever is going on. So it's really just a form of communication. It's not that the child necessarily wants, like especially 2-3-year-olds, that then they want to behave in that way. It's just the inexperienced communication. But we as parents have the experience that all behavior is temporary. We've seen it in other kids or in our own kids. If we have older ones, then we generally tend to start catching on to this fact that things are temporary, behaviors are temporary. Kids grow out of things, they move on from certain behaviors, and all behaviors are temporary. So we don't need to be so scared of them anymore, going back to the future fears of the future. And this can really happen at any stage. Like, it can be like suddenly your 12-13-year-olds has certain behaviors, you think, oh my gosh, if they carry on and all that. But most behaviors, if we are actually temporary, especially with kids. So yeah, the temporary nature of behavior and the temporary nature of growing up and everything, really. I mean, even as adults, we develop temporary behaviors that we move on from, or we change and things like that. So it is really not something that we need to read into so much. But the most important thing is to deal with it in a calm way in the moment, and not let the future fears get the better of us and then mess up the current moment, because that's the most important moment. That's the only moment we do have. That's the only moment that exists. So yeah, so my tip, for like a quick tip that everybody can tap into, is that do rely on your experience, that that behaviors are temporary. And when you keep that in mind, handling situations does become much easier, because when we are in a fearful mindset and all that, then it's not easy. It's like we're in a fearful state, and when we're in a fearful state, we're not going to be able to stay calm and cool-headed. So rely on your experience as a parent, that all behaviors are temporary, all situations are temporary. The experience you're going through with your child having a tantrum right now is temporary, and it will pass. So in that way, you can actually stay much calmer. And yeah, just a quick mindset shift here, that someone, in the end, someone has to stay calm. And that someone is going to be the parent who has the more life experience and who has the bigger picture in life. Kids just look at, in this moment, let's say, I want that, and I'm going to just throw a tantrum, cry and do whatever I want because I want it right now. But as a parent, we have the bigger picture, we have the experience of life, and that's what's going to help us to stay calm and cool-headed, and to stay in the moment and support the child through whatever they're going through, rather than having our own tantrum per se.
If you like more tips on effortless parenting from the inside out and comprehensive training on how to make parenting fun, easy, and effective, watch our free web class on coachsafia.com/gift.